The fishing news is brought to you by Shoreline Insurance Agency and Okuma.
Hey folks, Fred Golofaro here for this week's video fishing forecast, and the offshore fishing is still top-notch, whether it's Block Island or the offshore wrecks along the south shore. Still plenty of big sea bass, some nice cod mixing into the action along with scup, sometimes ling, sometimes whiting, sometimes pollock. So that remains the best bet. The weekend looks a little bit shaky. Saturday is going to blow pretty good. They're talking winds up to 30 knots, gusts up to 30 knots out of the southwest, so it's going to be a real sloppy ocean. But Friday looks good, and Sunday is a possibility also if you're looking to get some fishing in over the Christmas weekend. Out on the east end, again, not a lot of boats. Weather hasn't been great this week. A lot of boats have been stuck on the dock, but the Viking Star did get out. Captain Dave was out on Monday. Called it very slow. Handful of porgies and sea bass and about 30 cod up to 15 pounds. Tuesday was better. They moved further offshore on Tuesday, and he said they had a pretty decent pick of large porgies, sea bass, and they had cod to 17 pounds, so definitely a better day on Tuesday. The My Joyce with Captain Ken, he got out on Monday. He had Don, Lou, Dirk, and Nick aboard. They limited out on sea bass to 6 pounds. There's a nice sea bass. They had cod to 15 pounds, plus a mix of ling, whiting, and porgies, so nice day for them. Down on the south shore, there's a few boats doing these offshore wreck trips, among them Captree Princess, the Superhawk out of Point Lookout, and the Starstream out of Freeport. They hadn't been out yet this week when I called around for reports, but they will be fishing. Again, Friday looks like a good day, Saturday's iffy, Sunday's a possibility. But they've been doing well with big sea bass, porgies, cod, and some ling, even a couple of bluefish now and then still on the offshore grounds. Captain Al out of Point Lookout, he did get out on Monday, found some nice cod up to 23 pounds. Dogfish are a real problem on the weekend, less so on Monday. Definitely a better situation on Monday as far as the dogfish go. He's been finding the better fishing in shallower water, inshore, and it's been all clams so far this winter. Down towards the east end, the west end, you got Captain Dave out of Sheepshead Bay. He's running a cod special on Saturday the 23rd. That's this Saturday. 14-hour trip, but I would definitely check again with the weather forecast the way it is. He may be changing the date of that trip. On the inshore scene, starting to hear some white perch, herring spread around pretty good. John at J&J Tackle and Patchogue, he spoke of some white perch coming from Tuttle's Creek and also Carmen's River this week. He heard of some herring over at the Robert Moses Piers, and still rumblings of small bass in the Fire Island surf, so they're still hanging around if you're looking to catch some small stripers. Over at Salt Waters, Mike, similar report, herring on the back of Demo and on the Robert Moses Piers, and small bass, most of them under 18 inches on the front and back of Demo. Again, I guess you get these nicer days. It's not too bad if you want to play with those little bass and play some catch and release action. Don't forget, blackfish and striped bass seasons closed last week, so you get any blackfish, they got to go back, and striped bass you can play catch and release with. Mark over at Bay Park Fishing Station, and also Frank at Bernie's Bait and Tackle. They clued us in on some herring action, widespread, Jones Beach Piers, Green Island, Magnolia Pier, Long Beach Hospital, Canarsie Pier, Coney Island Pier, and the 69th Street Pier, all producing some herring basically on sabiki rigs. Small stripers also at the 69th Street Pier and at Breezy Point as recently as this past weekend. Very quiet on the North Shore. To the west, Tony at Jack's Bait and Tackle, he said there's still some small stripers around, but not much effort, not a lot of guys fishing for them since the season closed, and there's still some herring being caught along New Rochelle and over at Glen Island. To the east, Jim at Miller Place Bait and Tackle, reported decent herring in Mount Sinai Harbor, and there's also small bass in the harbor taking soft plastics and 4-inch swim shads. There's something else to do. Just again, before making any of these boat trips, especially these offshore trips, you can make sure you call ahead, call the captains, make sure the boat is sailing before you do that. And be sure to check out the final results of this year's Dreamboat Challenge. You can meet the winner of this year's contest. He's going to be taking home a 21 DV Steigercraft powered by a 200-horse Yamaha, and you can get the details on that in this week's e-news. I'd like to also take this opportunity to wish all of you out there and your families a very happy, healthy holiday season, a very healthy and prosperous new year. And until next week, Fred Golofaro here for thefisherman.com.